welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to a Barça World Cup roundup here on the channel today. And we really do, guys, have so much to get through. We have the conclusion of the group stage that brought us unbelievable drama there. So many of the groups going right down to the wire. All of those twists and turns to come, with plenty of emphasis too today on Barça legends. They have been at the forefront there of the action over these past few days. We're going to be talking about that. Plus, of course, the knockout stages are here now. We're going to be talking about the round of 16 clashes that we've seen and that we have to come, with a good look as well at the draw. How's it shaping up? Whose path is looking good? And which nation could go all of the way? It's coming up for you right here today. So let's do it. Because if we first of all head back to Thursday, where Spain were playing their final group game there. They were facing off against Japan, and Alejandro Balde made his first ever start for the Spanish national team. And I do have to say, guys, not the easiest game for Balde, not the most comfortable game that he'll ever have there. Japan's high pressing, putting the whole team under real pressure in this one. I think Unai Simon as well didn't help at the first goal, put Balde in real trouble with the pass that he played to him. And it was a tough start for him, but I think that's an experience there that you feel like Balde will learn a lot from and draw from there. Early days, of course, in his young career. And speaking as well of experience, it was great to see Ansu Fati getting his first minutes there at the World Cup. He came on there for Luis Enrique for the final 23 minutes of Spain. They were desperately searching for an equalising goal, but they couldn't find a way through. Japan there, 2-1 winners, and you've got to give them credit. You've got to give them enormous credit there, because just like they were against Germany, a goal down to hit back in the way that they did, and the speed in which they play and the energy that they bring to every single game. They have been absolutely unbelievable at this World Cup. And when you're looking at the group, guys, there was a period, of course, in the second half of these games here whereby Costa Rica were beating Germany. Now, if that had happened, Spain and Germany would have been knocked out from the World Cup. At the group stage, it would have been unthinkable. But in the end, Spain scraping through, and it was Germany, of course, that helped them get over the line. It was because they beat Costa Rica. Even though that win wasn't enough to see them through, it was their win that in the end meant that Spain made it to the knockouts. And I do feel, guys, for Marc-Andre ter Stegen, because he finishes the World Cup here without a single minute to his name. And we saw another big mistake from Manuel Neuer against Costa Rica. That's not the first mistake that he's made at this World Cup. And it's another early exit for Germany. And I think here ter Stegen will feel as though if he can continue what he's been doing this season, the quality that he's been showing, surely these opportunities at national team level, they can't be far away now. His time must be coming, but for Spain, in finishing second there in Group E, what that means now is that they will face the winners of Group F, which is Morocco. And that is a really exciting game, guys, because Morocco, they've been outstanding at this World Cup so far. They're full of belief right now. We've seen wild celebrations from their players and their fans, and that is a game that Spain will need to step up in. They can't afford to have lapses as they did against Japan. And that game is going to be coming up there on Tuesday, which then brings us on to Friday's action in Group H. And let's start with Ghana against Uruguay, because it was unbelievable to see Ghana miss a penalty to take the lead in this game in the first half there. It felt as though history was repeating itself from 2010. It was heartbreak once again for Ghana. And Luis Suarez, he had one of the best games that I've seen from him in a long, long time. He seemed extra motivated against Ghana, and he was at the heart of both Uruguay goals. And for the majority of the game, it looked as though Uruguay had done enough. It looked as though Uruguay would be heading through and they again would have the last laugh. But no, because South Korea's unbelievable 91st minute winner there against Portugal, it was a wonderful setup there by Heung-min Son. Fantastic feet, lovely weighted pass, and a great finish from Kwang Hee-chan, which meant that it was actually South Korea heading through and Uruguay were out. Despite winning, they needed one more goal. They couldn't find it there. Suarez was on the bench, and you saw the emotion when he found out about South Korea's goal there, when he found out that Uruguay in the end wouldn't be going through. And that's the World Cup, isn't it? On one side with South Korea, you've got jubilation, celebration, elation for them and their country. And then Suarez, knowing this will likely be his very last World Cup minutes, we're not going to see him again in this competition, it meant the world to him. And he could not hold back the tears as he and Uruguay will be heading home. And of course the Barça, the significant moment there with Uruguay now finishing third in the group is that Araujo, first and foremost, did not feature in the group stage at all there. He missed all three of Uruguay's group matches. Uruguay sticking in the end with the agreement they'd made with Barça. I think we're all very happy and very appreciative of that. And what Uruguay's exit means now is that Araujo will return to Barcelona there under the eager watch of Barca's medical team, and he will continue his recovery, which is firmly on track now, and we will aim to have him fit, back and available, ready for the new year. Which then brings us on to Brazil, and there was yet more history here for another Barcelona legend, Dani Alves. He became the oldest player to ever represent Brazil in a World Cup game at 39 years old, and it's an incredible achievement for him. We know that when he returned to Barcelona for that second spell, it was all with the World Cup in mind there. He wanted to show that he still had the level, the quality required here, and to play in this tournament at 39, that is an unbelievable achievement. But Brazil heavily rotated against Cameroon. Rafinha there was rested from the start of the game. He only came on for the final 10 minutes for Brazil. And Cameroon, they took full advantage of that there. Abu Bakr in the 91st minute. It's a wonderful header from him there. Ball coming in, wrong foot Edison, and a wonderful winning goal. He takes his shirt off in celebration, and you can't blame him. How often do you score a winning goal against Brazil at a World Cup? The only problem was, though, is that he'd already been booked. So Abu Bakr there, he knew that he was going to receive another yellow, and I would say it's the happiest red card I've ever seen. Not only from the player, but the ref as well. Little handshake in there, smiles all round. Lovely to see that kind of spirit at the World Cup. But unfortunately for Cameroon, in the end, wasn't quite enough for them. Switzerland beating Serbia to move into the knockout stages there, along with Brazil, who finish as group winners. And now on Monday night, we have a really exciting game to come between Brazil and South Korea. I fully expect Rafinha to be reinstated there to Tite's starting lineup. South Korea, they've got nothing to lose. They're full of life, full of energy, and hoping to pull off another almighty shock. Do not miss that clash there. Before on Saturday then, we moved on to the all-important round of 16 clashes. And this one here between the Netherlands and the United States, I think it was a good game there. Two teams who really gave everything in the end, but it was Memphis Depay who got the Netherlands up and running, scoring his very first goal at this World Cup. And didn't he take it well there? It was a sweeping move from the Netherlands. Wonderful football in the build-up for that goal. Cut back to Memphis, and no hesitation. He dispatched it there into the bottom corner. It was a ruthless finish, and I think actually that set the tone for the Netherlands in that first half especially. They had 2 shots on target, they scored 2 goals, they were able to make their experience count in the right moments. But I think it's interesting with the Netherlands because it wasn't necessarily the prettiest performance once again from Van Gaal's side. I think some of the Dutch fans right now, they want a bit more, especially given previous Netherlands teams that we've seen, the kind of football that they've played in the past. They want to be seeing more entertaining stuff. But at the same time, when you're in the World Cup, when you're in the knockout stages, if you get the job done, if you're able to come through and win games and move on in the tournament, at the end of the day, you're not going to turn that down. But I think for America, guys, given what we've seen from them in the tournament so far, we've been tracking them, of course, with Serginho Dest playing a leading role, and I think they were unlucky. I really do here. I think they will come away from this game kind of thinking, we could have got them. We could have actually won that game. It was there for them if they'd had just that bit more experience, especially in the final third, I would say. If they had, for instance, a number 9 who could be reliable, clinical there in front of goal, somebody to score the goals when you really need it, that would have been the difference, because I thought in midfield again, they impressed. They actually dominated the Netherlands for large periods of the game, and there's certainly a lot to be excited about, certainly a lot to build from this tournament for the USA, even if they are heading home here. And then later on in the night, of course, on Saturday, we had Argentina versus Australia, and this was a contest here that I think as the game went on, it got more and more exciting there, more and more on the line, plenty of high-pressured situations, and Australia fought every single step of the way. And of course, the difference maker on his 1000th career appearance, Lionel Messi. Not just the goal, it wasn't just about the way that he took the goal, but it was his overall game. And how many times in those 1,000 games, guys, have we said that about Messi, whereby it's not about the goal, it's not about the assist, it's not about the stats, it's about the whole performance, what he does with the ball at his feet. It's unmatchable. And I think at the World Cup so far, his performance against Australia, it was certainly one of the standout displays. And it's incredible to hear the admiration that he's receiving from the world's media. And again, making the difference when it really matters for Argentina, and what that victory there means for Messi, and what it also means for Memphis Depay and Frankie de Jong, is that they're all going to come head-to-head on Friday. It's Argentina versus the Netherlands in the World Cup quarter-final. And for that game, guys, make no mistake, we've got a match preview on the way. We're going to be talking a lot more about what that game will mean. I think it's anybody's. I think it's wide open there. And it's going to be fascinating to see who comes out on top. And I think here, when you're sort of zooming out a little bit at the draw, when you're looking at the paths of the teams, potentially there all the way to the World Cup trophy, I think it's fascinating to see. In the top half there, we got the Netherlands up against Argentina, like I say. And in the same section of the draw there, on Monday, that's all going to play out. Japan against Croatia, Brazil against South Korea. It is still very much on the cards that we could have a Brazil versus Argentina World Cup semi-final. Imagine that. It would be unbelievable. And then over the other side too, in the top section there, we've got England against Senegal and Poland against France. All of those games coming up today here on Sunday. And France, for me, still remain one of the firm favourites to go deep in this tournament. They have seemed so solid, so confident in their game so far. And then down the bottom too, we've got Morocco against Spain and Portugal against Switzerland. It's very possible we could see Spain against Portugal there. But in this World Cup, do not rule out any shocks at all. Every team that you see there are capable of coming up with a win, coming up with a big performance. And that is what makes it so exciting. And I do want to know, right here and now, guys, in today's video, with what you've seen of the World Cup so far, with the nations that we've had a really good look at now, who stands out for you? Who are you backing at this stage to not only win, to not only go through, not only to get to the semi-final there, the quarter-final? Who is going to go all of the way and win the World Cup? Please do let me know all of your thoughts, your predictions there. And like I say, there's plenty more coming up this week, plenty more big games, and we're going to be covering all of them in some degree right here. Thank you indeed for taking part and watching here the roundup today. I really do appreciate all of your support and all of you guys tuning in. I will see you soon, but until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.